Hello, my narcissistic abuse family. I'm squeezing in a video today. Today is April 19th. I'm not going to put this up till tomorrow, but it's my youngest daughter's 7th birthday. It's a special day. We've been celebrating all weekend and they're outside right now, so I'm taking this opportunity to squeeze in a video. I'm talking today about revenge against the narcissist, talking about retaliation. I mean, someone that hurts you so profoundly and is cruel, and the things that they do are just incomprehensible to good, decent human beings, the victims. Um, so when you are discarded, or maybe you're still in the brunt of it, if it's your parents, it's like you want so badly to retaliate in some way, to seek revenge. I've been the recipient of both ends of the spectrum. I was with a narcissist, engaged to him. It was over 10 years ago. Thankfully that, he dumped me, so thank God. I dodged that bullet. But my parents are wicked as well, the toxic duo. My mother is the narcissist. So I hear you. I feel you. I know where you're at with this. So I'll speak about both situations. With a romantic partner in the narcissistic arena, the best revenge is to go about your life like unscathed by, I mean, obviously we're impacted profoundly, deeply, we're hurt, but don't let them know that. The best way to get back at them is to just go on living your best life. And this all happened to me in 2005, and I had no idea that I was dealing with a narcissist. I had no idea, this whole category of personality. I mean, I did. I have my master's in psychology, but I didn't realize the application of this in real life. When you're personally dealing with a narcissist, it's a totally different ballgame. You can learn all sorts of book knowledge, but again, the application, it's night and day. So when this creep dumped me, discarded me, he discarded me with the silent treatment, just straight up like cut me off. I I was so just beside myself and desperate. I went to Barnes and Noble, the relationship health self-help section, and I got a ton of books. I read them cover to cover, and one of the best books I got was on controlling people. And it was all about like manipulation and how this person has has to dominate the relationship. They have to dominate you. That's exactly what narcissists do. You it did not have the title back at that time, but absolutely all of this information is applicable to narcissists. So narcissists have to control everything, everyone around them, and everything that they possibly can control, they want to. Because when you think about it, they're so weak and fragile that they need to protect their core, which is a weak and vulnerable and, broken, traumatized child at their core, because narcissism typically, not all the time, but it typically comes from a person that has been traumatized, suffered abuse of some type in childhood, so they construct this elaborate, grandiose persona to protect their core. And their core is just fragile and weak and very susceptible to criticism and all of that. So, all the narcissist cares about later in life is how people perceive them. They want to come across being larger than life. So they have to protect this construct, this phony facade, this fake lie that they're telling themselves at this point, because they need to believe this too in order to protect themselves as well as everyone around them. So they have to protect all of these variables in their life. And if they have a partner that loves them and that wants to support them and be with them, they will take advantage of your loyalty, of your dedication to them, and they will use it to control you, to control every aspect about you that they possibly can. So when they start to get signs of the fact that you might be straying, or that you might be onto them, or that you're gaining some type of self-confidence, they cut you loose because they can't control you anymore. That's what happened to me. I was in my young 20s, and I had a lot going for me. I was like a great catch. I was getting my graduate degree. I had an awesome job at a very renowned corporation. I had a lot going for me. And he didn't like that, like, I guess I started to build myself up and maybe, like, realize, like, you're treating me like crap. I don't deserve this. So I started sticking up for myself. So he was out. He was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, she's a loose cannon. Narcissists have to control everything they possibly can. So at the time, I had no idea, but at the time, I was so just exhausted from this crap. It was like nothing made him happy. I was bending over backwards to do whatever I could to appease him, to make him happy, to make him pay attention to me. And it was a nightmare. It was such a toxic hamster wheel of a cycle. I was the one putting in all the work, and he was just being a dick. He was awful, awful. So when he finally discarded me, I was just at the point where I was like broken. So just defeated, beside myself. And I got all these books and and there was nothing I could do as well because he cut off contact with me. I would call him. We were living in the same house at the time. He did it. He managed to pull it off. And, I ended up going back to the narc den, the toxic upbringing from which I sprang my parents' house. So I went back there, I stayed there, but then I finally, one of my girlfriends actually said to me, like, Michelle, look what he's doing to you. Like, he was basically, like, humiliating me, I guess, if you look at it from that standpoint. But I didn't care. I just put all my cards on the table. I was like, I love you so much. Yada yada. I even called his mother at one point. She wouldn't even talk to me because that he smear campaigned the hell out of me. But anyway, so I finally picked myself up and went on about my fabulous life. Best thing I ever did. And, he moved on to the next because that's what narcs do. They have to, substantiate themselves and say, oh, it's not me, it must have been her, because look at me, I'm such a prize. I had somebody waiting in the wings for me. So, my dog's going ballistic. I'm sorry, because the kids are outside. So, when I finally picked up and moved on with my life, best thing I could have done, best thing for myself, it's so painful and it's such a mind F. Like you're so screwed up after all of this treatment because you don't know what's up or down because you've been strategically cut down and it's so subtle, you didn't know what was happening. So they just basically cut your feet out from under you. But they hate when you can live without them. They're so twisted. Narcissists believe that if they can hurt you, if they see you crying, they see you in pain, they see you chasing after them, they feel like I must be important, because that's how twisted and sick these people are, is they get their self-esteem, their confidence from all external sources. So the way that people react to them or treat them is what they are able to bolster their, lack of any self-esteem, self-confidence. They have none of it. So they take it from everyone else. So when you're in a relationship with this person and you chase after, because I was always doing this. I was always chasing after him. We were always breaking up. I was always heartbroken. And he loved that. Narcissists, thrive on that. So, don't do it. Best revenge is just being like, okay, I'm good. Don't need you. Don't need this crap in my life. Don't need to be treated like a piece of garbage. One of the best things you can do is get on with your life and stop chasing them and doting on them, because that's what they're seeking. They're always seeking your pain, basically. In terms of my narcissistic mother, narcissists are always looking for a reaction from you. They don't care if it's good and they don't care if it's bad. They just want to elicit some type of emotion from you. Because again, all of their confidence, all of their self-esteem is based off of external factor, like other people. So my narc mother used to get to me all the time. She used to make me cry. Like, she couldn't make me cry. I don't know what it would take at this point, but I'm so far removed from her toxicity and the way that she's always put me down and treated me poorly for my whole life. I just don't care anymore. I'm kind of getting to a place of indifference, which is where you want to be. Sorry, I'm so uncomfortable. But the opposite of love is indifference. It's not hate. Hate requires some type of passionate, deep-rooted emotion. So, in terms of my narc mother, I started using the grave rock technique, which is wonderful, where you just basically cut off their supply. They thrive on gossip and information and, getting all of these details and this information from you. So when you cut it off, they're dried up. They don't know what to do. That was my first step. But now I just don't want to. So now I'm officially no contact, which is incredible. And I love it. It's amazing. Best thing I've ever done. And I should have done it a lot sooner than it took me. But I had to go through this process. So no contact. But she doesn't get any reactions from me, obviously, anymore. I see what she does, I see their game, and I don't want any part of it. And I deserve better, and my family deserves better. You deserve better. So I understand this terrible feeling of being betrayed by the narc, you know, somebody that you love, that you put your heart into, and they screwed you over, like romantically or your parent, whatever. So I remember feeling this way, like wanting to get back at him for screwing me over so badly. But the way I see it at this point is that they're stuck being themselves. They're so tortured that they have no self-esteem, no self-confidence. They have got nothing. So they, construct this elaborate facade to kind of, what's that word? To comfort themselves, I guess, to protect themselves. And they get all of their energy, all of their kicks from outside people, whether it's hurting them or getting attention. They don't care. They just want any reaction from anyone. So not reacting is our best route. My thing is, I see the narc mother, and both of them actually, the narc relationship as well. He had kids with, the next in line, the girl that he basically moved on to immediately after me, probably when he was still with me. But thank God I did not get stuck with him in any way, any ties. He had children with this girl immediately. And from what I understand, I ran into his aunt at the hair salon one time, and she told me that he put this poor girl through hell, and the children as well, like no surprise, and he moved on to the next again. He's just such a miserable person, and he treats people terribly. So the best thing he ever did for me was letting me go on with my awesome, fabulous life. And same with my narc parents, my narc mother, enabling father, whatever. So they deserve each other, and their life is so miserable. People that build their lives on a superficial premise, like, what do they have at the end of the day? What is the substance of their life? Nothing. So they don't have genuine relationships or connections or true love in their lives. So to me, that's appropriate. Let them stew in their own gravy, so to speak. They reap what they sow. So at this point, my narc mother, enabling father, like, they have no relationship with their only daughter. Their relationship with the golden boy, like my older brother, that I have no contact with, that's weak as well, because the narc mother set the premise where nobody communicated ever in that house. Nobody had any substantial relationships. So they have grandchildren that they have no relationships with. Joey passed, they exploited that. We have our beautiful daughters, and they are the most precious, amazing blessings in life. And the narc and the enabler, they have nothing to do with us. I couldn't be happier. I'm mad that I let them be a part of our lives for as long as I did. Oh, damn. I knew that was going to happen. All right, you guys. Stop it! So, I hope I gave you something of value. We're bumped, we're bruised, but more than anything, we're blessed. God bless you guys. I love you all. Thanks for going on me with this journey.